And that takes us to the final section of LEED, which is innovation in design. Innovation in design is actually designed to allow you to achieve credit for processes that you can't normally achieve credit for in the current credit rating system. Also, with ID credits, you're allowed to get your credit for exemplary performance. So in all of those cases where we mentioned thresholds for exemplary performance, this is where those would apply. And so you can earn anywhere from 4 to 5 points in ID Credit 1. ID Credit 1 for NC and for CS projects, there's 5 possible points, and for schools projects, there's 4 possible points. And like I said, like I just alluded to before, innovative processes, like for example, if you're a structural engineer and you have a method for reducing the total amount of materials that you need to build your building based on how you're measuring out your studs and your nails, etc. And there's a way to reduce the total amount of materials based on how you're actually designing it. Now, with that design, if you can quantify how much materials cost and amount of materials you would have used, and then how much cost of materials you actually did use, and we can have a quantitative difference, that could be something that could apply to an ID credit. So as long as your ID credit is quantitative, it's quantifiable that you have done some kind of environmental improvement, that can't be captured in a credit that already exists. That would be an innovative process. Exemplary performance would be just following the threshold limits, like for example in water efficiency, if you hit 45% water reduction, that's exemplary performance. You can apply that down here in ID if you'd like. Now, with the 5 points set out or 4 points set out in schools, only 3 can be used for exemplary performance. The other 2 or 1 in the school's case have to be an innovative design process. So only up to 3, so even if you've achieved, let's say 8 or 9 exemplary performance levels, you can only claim up to 3 here, whereas the rest of them would have to be used in terms of innovative processes. ID Credit 2, this is the LEED accredited professional point. It's 1 point across the board, all rating systems. For this point, it's as easy as supplying the name of your LEED AP, the name of their company, their role in the project, and then an actual copy of their LEED AP certificate. You supply this information and you get a point. It's that simple and that easy. ID Credit 3 only applies to schools, and this is 1 point. And this is the school as a teaching tool. And now, in order for this to work, what the school has to do is design curriculum based on the sustainable features of the building and implement that curriculum within 10 months of the LEED certification. The curriculum should include the relationship between humans, nature, and the building itself. It must also be approved by the school administrator and meet state and local standards while providing at least 10 hours of classroom instruction per year per full-time student. So with the ID Credit 1, we have 5 points total for NC and CS projects, plus the 1 ID credit for the LEED accredited professional, that's 6 total. For schools, we have 4 in ID Credit 1. We have the LEED AP credit, that's 5, plus this credit, 6. So in all cases, it's a total of 6. Just in schools, it's ordered just a little bit differently.